This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us today. Topping our news today at noon, new details on a fire at a downtown Sarasota restaurant overnight. Joe Thompson has now been arrested and charged with arson in connection with that fire. It started at the backside of the Mandeville Beer Garden restaurant on Lemon Avenue right around 2 o'clock this morning. Police say once on the scene, officers saw Thompson sitting in a chair facing the fire. ABC 7 talked to the owner of Mandeville Beer Garden, and she says if fire crews had not arrived when they did, the restaurant could have been severely damaged.
It was all cordoned off for about 2 hours, so around 4 a.m. we got to look at the damage, and it was fire started in the dumpster in the back, and the radiant heat caused the fence to ignite, and luckily the fire department put it out before there was any damage to the building.
Restaurant again wasn't damaged, but the restaurant's phone line was damaged, so for now there won't be any Wi-Fi or phone service. The State Fire Marshal's office is also investigating, and again, the police have charged a man with arson. Sarasota County Sheriff's Office and State Fire Marshal investigating a fatal house fire in Nokomis. Firefighters responded to the home on Florence Street yesterday. Crews were able to put it out before it spread to other homes in the area. Firefighters later found a body inside the home. No word yet on the identity, but if you have any information on how this fire may have started, call the Sarasota County Sheriff's Office. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies are looking for a man involved in an armed robbery. Investigators say that man walked into Cricket Wireless in East Bradenton and demanded cash. He was wearing a white hoodie, gray sweatpants, blue bandana over his face, and he was armed with a handgun. Anyone with information should contact the Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers at 866-634-TIPS. Manatee County Sheriff's deputies also searching for a killer today after a man's body was found in Bradenton. 41-year-old Michael Grantley was found by a worker in a wooded area off 26th Avenue East. Neighbors say they heard gunshots during the overnight hours.
There was gunshots around 5 o'clock that woke me up, but I didn't know that was what woke me up. But I heard later there was a body found over there with its mouth taped.
Again, no arrests yet in this case. Call the Sheriff's Office or Crime Stoppers if you know anything. 2 drivers are recovering after a serious crash in Venice. It happened Monday afternoon at the intersection of Englewood and Loyola Roads. Troopers say the driver of Buick was heading east, didn't see a pickup truck approaching. The two collided. The driver of the Buick is expected to be cited with failing to yield to oncoming traffic. Let's get a check now on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi. And a little warmer this morning.
Beautiful.
And
beautiful day out there.
A glorious day ahead here. Huh?
I think so. Yeah. Temperatures around the 70-degree mark, about where we should be for this time of year, right?
I like it.
Nighttime low, about 50, or thereabouts, a little cooler, but still about where we should be for this time of year. So that's nice. Changes tomorrow. Big time. Holy cow. It's going to be like somebody drove the ice truck through the center of town as we head into tomorrow night. But for today, by 3 p.m., 70 degrees, a lot of sunshine out there. It should be just beautiful. Not a drop of rain possible in this atmosphere. As the temperature drops off, as the sun sets, we'll probably be down into the 50s before midnight. So it'll be a cool night here on the Sun Coast. But, a light sweater should make it just fine for al fresco dining. Satellite view doesn't show much in the way of any cloud cover across the state. It's just really not possible to support much cloud cover, and certainly not much in the way of any rainfall either. But here is how one computer model suggests the temperatures will behave over the course of the next 7 days. Check it out. That is some kind of dip that we are going to see tomorrow. Now, that's just one computer model, but you know what? It's in the ballpark. We'll talk about the forecast coming up in a few. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In Washington, Congress grappling with a potential government shutdown with government funding set to expire at midnight on Friday. At the heart of the debate, the fate of nearly 800,000 undocumented immigrants. But hopes of finding a fix for these so-called dreamers appears at a standstill for now. ABC's Arlette Saenz has more.
President Trump is back at the White House with a possible government shutdown just days away. At the center of the debate, the DACA program, which protects nearly 800,000 young undocumented immigrants from deportation. In an Oval Office meeting last week, the president rejected one proposed bipartisan plan.
Thursday was a step backwards, and my goal is to get us moving forward.
The president is pinning the blame on Democrats. He tweeted, "The Democrats want to shut down the government over amnesty for all and border security. Democrats want protections for the so-called Dreamers to be part of a deal to keep the government open past midnight Friday." But on Fox, the White House press secretary said any DACA fix must stand alone.
We need to keep those two things separate. We're so hopeful that we can get a budget deal done, a clean budget, by the end of this week.
Complicating negotiations, offensive comments the president allegedly made about Haiti and African countries.
He said these hate-filled things, and he said them repeatedly.
The Homeland Security Secretary attended that meeting and faced questions on Capitol Hill.
Did President Trump used this word or a substantially similar word to describe certain countries?
I did not hear that word used. The conversation was very impassioned. I don't dispute that the president was using tough language.
President Trump announced the end of the DACA program in September, telling lawmakers to find a fix. If they don't reach a solution, the program will end March 5th. Arlette Saenz, ABC News, Washington.
Some Haitian protesters sent their message loud and clear to President Trump in South Florida. They staged a rally near the president's Mar-a-Lago resort, where President Trump spent the holiday weekend. The rally demanded an apology for his alleged comments about Haiti last week. The president reportedly asked during an immigration meeting with lawmakers why the U.S. needs more Haitian immigrants and allegedly said, "Take them out." One South Florida lawmaker was at that meeting last week when the president described Haitian and some African nations with a profanity. The White House has confirmed the president suggested the U.S. should accept fewer people from countries like Haiti in favor of more immigration from countries like Norway, but has disputed the language used to convey that point. Republican Congressman Mario Diaz-Balart from Miami says he will not disclose what was said in the meeting. Visiting constituents in Naples yesterday, he said he wants to help DACA participants known as Dreamers to not call the president or other negotiators names.
I'm the only person from our community that has a seat at this table. And I'm going to use that seat not to criticize, not to point fingers, to try to stop the imminent deportation of about 800,000 young people.
Diaz-Balart supports extending the program, also known as DACA, and said he wants to avoid criticizing the president to keep the negotiations on track. Still to come on your Suncoast News, the flu epidemic affecting hundreds here on the Suncoast. We'll have some staggering numbers from Sarasota Memorial Hospital. And is the United States ready for a nuclear war? What the Department of Defense is saying after that scare in Hawaii.
Coming up, we'll take you to Babcock Ranch, the nation's first 100% solar community.
Meet Blue. Blue's not feeling well. The prescription? Generic medication. Blue wonders, do they really work as well as name brands? Yes, generics and name brand medications do work the same. Even though they may look different, generics have the same key ingredients. FDA approval is equally rigorous for generics to make sure they're as safe and effective as name brands. And Blue even saves some green, making him a little less, well, blue. Talk to your doctor about generics and visit fda.gov/generic drugs.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been arrested in the state of Florida, the state attorney's office is already working on your prosecution. It's time to work on your defense. So give us a call. We've got your back.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. The huge Consumer Electronics Show isn't just for people. I'm Stephanie Roberts. On Suncoast View, we check out the newest pet tech gadgets with our pet expert. Flu season is in full swing, and it's a bad one. We'll talk about how to keep healthy when everyone around you is sniffling and sneezing. Plus, a traveling Englewood circus brings us Lady Elastic, and Whole Foods Market is in the kitchen. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
Florida Studio Theater presents the 8-time Tony Award winner Once, held over by popular demand. Captivating and breathtaking, Once is an unforgettable story about going for your dreams and the power of music to connect us all. Critics are calling Once engaging and heartwarming, outstanding, and a flawless production. Audiences are calling it phenomenal and better than Broadway. Once must close January 19th. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So current temperatures are looking good right now. We have 66 degrees in Sarasota, 68 degrees Lakewood, Ranch Parish at 68, Bradenton 68. Longboat comes in at 66, 68 in Venice, 68 in Inglewood, 69 in Northport, 68 in Mayaca, and 67 degrees in Wauchula, 68 in Arcadia, 70 in Punta Gorda. But I think what people are not so concerned about are the current temperatures as much as they are the temperatures tomorrow night. Suffice it to say, today will be a nice warm day, so enjoy it. We'll top it out at about 70, and then we'll watch the temperature start to fall, but it's not the big fall that we'll see tomorrow. We'll be down into the 50s by about 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, so not a terribly uncomfortable night in store for you tonight. Looks pretty good, in fact. In fact, tomorrow morning looks pretty good. The Futurecast shows everything pretty quiet across the region. May see a little patchy fog in inland northern areas because winds will be fairly calm. But as we go through the evening, you know, a few fair weather clouds, and they'll be few and far between. There are not going to be a lot of them because the atmosphere is very stable. Then tonight, you know, we might see a passing stray high cloud or so. And then by after midnight, the whole evening looks good. And then tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up and you're going to see a line of snow showers moving through parts of North Florida. Maybe some freezing rain. In fact, some of the coldest air of the season sinking south, possibly the coldest air of the season sinking south, will probably starting either tonight with Bob's 5 o'clock forecast. He may have some more information on this, or certainly by tomorrow morning, I think we'll see some freeze warnings up for the state of Florida, maybe some hard freeze warnings up for parts of North Florida as that cold air starts to sink southward. Still, it's 7 o'clock in the morning. We're going to be fine around here. It'll be nice. It'll be great weather. You know, temperatures will be in the 50s, maybe even hitting the 60s. And then that front moves through as we head into the afternoon. And as it moves into later in the evening, the cold air starts to filter southward. And about midnight, that real chill starts to occur. The winds are going to really pick up, and our temperatures are going to start dropping like a rock. That's because of this frontal boundary sinking southward, the frontal boundary triggering off the snow and sleet in North Florida, and then kind of falling apart in terms of producing any weather across central Florida, but still causing the winds to pick up and drawing down colder air. First alert weather day, Wednesday night into Thursday morning, not only for temperatures that'll drop near freezing, in fact, perhaps even below freezing in inland areas east of the interstate, but also for the wind speeds, which will be up. Warmer today, however, but colder during the rest of the work week. Check out the temperatures across the nation. Even at this hour, 2/3 of the nation are below freezing right now. That's how cold that air is coming southward. Here's that temperature trend that I showed you earlier in the forecast, and you'll see Wednesday night, the low temperature bottoming out about 31 according to this one computer model. And not only that, watch the wind forecast picking up, exceeding 15, maybe even 20 miles per hour as we head into Wednesday night, Thursday morning. You put all that together, it means some wind chill factors that could make it feel like 20 degrees around here Thursday morning. So some serious cold weather coming our way. Northeast winds today are very pleasant. Not much of a problem out there on open waters like chop for you. But those winds will be picking up, and a small craft advisory will likely be issued for tomorrow night through Thursday morning. Today, 70. Tomorrow, 65 as that cold air starts to filter in. We don't warm during the afternoon. In fact, we start to cool. Overnight low will go with about 34 at the airport. But east of the interstate, I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see some pockets of freezing temperatures. Wind speeds up on Thursday morning. Again, a first alert weather morning. Temperatures only making it to 55. The good news is this is a cold snap. We start to rebound pretty quickly, and by the weekend, we're back in the 70s. Scott?
All right, John, thanks so much. As the flu epidemic sweeps across the country, the Suncoast has seen an increase in cases compared to last year. ABC 7's Marla Spence joins us live from Sarasota Memorial Hospital with those alarming numbers and what health officials say you can do to limit your risk of getting the flu. Marla?
Good afternoon, Scott. That's right. The number of flu cases are up in Sarasota, and the numbers are alarming. According to a Sarasota hospital representative, there's been an uptick in flu cases since Christmas. Within a 6-week period, 276 people tested positive for the flu, and 90 patients were admitted to the hospital. Now, this is nearly 3 times as much patients than last year, around this time of the year, where there were 81 positive flu cases and 30 patients admitted to the hospital. Health officials say the number one thing to do in order to preventing the flu is by simply getting the flu shot.
It's still the number one thing to do. The other thing is if you're sick, stay home. Don't go out and spread it around. Stay home, stay in bed, hydrate yourself, wash your hands, use hand sanitizer. If you are in a public place, use a mask.
Now, health officials with Sarasota Hospital says strain A or H2N3 is most common among patients this time of the year. She also tells us that if you suspect you have the flu, to head over to your doctor as soon as possible for a rapid flu test. Knowing you have it will help you to get the treatment you need and nip that bug in the bud as soon as possible. Back to you, Scott.
All right, Marla, we're all trying to stay healthy and avoid this one because it seems pretty bad. Thank you so much for that report. Ever heard the urban legend about it being dangerous to hold in a sneeze? Well, it turns out it's a real thing, and it's more dangerous than you might think. According to a new report, doctors say sneezes can produce pressurized air that can explode at speeds up to 100 miles an hour. The report features a 34-year-old patient who suffered neck and throat injuries, as well as a small perforation to his trachea. Fortunately, he did not need surgery, but he was in the hospital for 2 weeks recovering. For the first time since Obamacare went into effect, the number of Americans without health insurance is now growing. According to a Gallup poll, the uninsured rate rose to 12%. That represents more than 3 million Americans. Experts blame the drop on current efforts to repeal Obamacare, as well as insurers either withdrawing from the health care exchanges or raising their rates. And that drop could continue this year as about 500,000 fewer people signed up on the federal exchange during open enrollment season. Let's head over to the kitchen now and check in with our guest today, our friend Chef Pedro Flores from Table Creekside. Pedro, great to see you again. What's on your menu for today?
We have a nice Valentine's menu for scallops and snappers, sir.
See you in a little bit. Thank you, Chef.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value and great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs. And you learned how to not ignore yours. I discovered how to make healthier meals. And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, AND services.com.
Babcock Ranch is a brand new community being built from scratch. It's located about 10 miles east of Interstate 75 in southeast Charlotte County. But it will soon be a busy community with retail, restaurants, schools, and some 20,000 residents. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more in a place we call home.
Babcock Ranch is the first 100% solar community in the country. The first family just moved in. They learned about the ranch in technical journals.
And we flew down and we took the tour, went over to the solar field, looked at it, looked at all the few facilities at the time. This was close to a year ago.
And decided this was the place for them.
I like that old-fashioned look of the buildings, that 1920s old Florida look.
Babcock Ranch is the vision of CEO Sid Kitson.
Babcock Ranch is 91,000 acres. That's 143 square miles.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's 5 times the size of the island of Manhattan.
90% of Babcock Ranch will be preserved and undeveloped forever.
So we're only developing on undisturbed lands. We're not in the wetlands. We're not in flood zone.
And making history with their solar power.
Florida Power and Light, after many years of work, has built a 75 megawatt solar power generating facility. So what that means is on 440 acres, they put in 343,000 panels.
He says Babcock Ranch has the cleanest energy in the country. It's a multi-generational community. One school is already open and another being built.
From energy to education to the environment to transportation, to technology, and then health and wellness is a big part of what we're doing.
The new medical center is almost finished.
We'll have doctors here full time. They're going to have physical therapy, occupational therapy. There'll be gym, the indoor basketball court, and there is a pool.
And 50 miles of trails.
And I like how you can walk or ride your bike to everything. It's just wonderful. Nice flat land, and you don't have to get in your car. I think we've gotten away from those small communities where you can walk to grocers.
You can hear the general store just opened. When Babcock Ranch is completed, there will be 19,500 homes, and they'll range in price from $190,000 to $1 million. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
We are in the kitchen with Chef Pedro from the Table Restaurant. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you for having us here, sir.
And the reason that he's here is because of a really kicked up Valentine's Day dinner.
Absolutely. We're excited.
You are looking at tantric entrees, exciting entrees, tantric starters. I mean, you are turning up the heat for this one, brother.
Yeah, and this dish, you got to be with the wife or the girlfriend.
Absolutely, yeah, apparently so.
So we're going to make 3 things at the same time is what you have to be with the wife.
Okay.
So you have a nice snapper. You can get a red snapper, hog snapper, mangrove snapper, any kind of a snapper that you like. You put some citrus. Then we got a little sea salt.
Nice.
Okay, and then we got some prosciutto or serrano.
Okay.
Got it thin so you can get it anywhere. And then what we do, we're gonna wrap it up.
Oh, I see. Nice.
Nice and wrap. Nice and wrap. You know, a little press.
So you're just getting the flavor in there.
Yes, and then we got the scallops. We already got some olive oil, sea salt, little lemon juice, and little marinade a little bit. We start with the snapper.
On a really hot skillet.
On a really hot skillet. Yeah. And then you just let it see a little bit now. There you go.
And this is at the Table Restaurant, which is absolutely it's a very romantic restaurant. It's
absolutely
gorgeous right there on Philippi Creek. Beautiful.
And then we got the scallops. Then the same thing. The serum. The scallops, you want to make them like medium rare. You don't want to really overcook them because they get rubbery, you know. You don't want it hard. And then we're going to cook another thing. We're going to have some cauliflower risotto So we got some risotto ground already here. Okay. And then we just flip the little scallops a little bit.
What I see so far, what I can tell is that this meal is going to be incredibly flavorful, but also light. So
yes.
So you have plenty of energy left.
Absolutely. A little bit white wine in there.
Uh-huh. Ooh, that smells so good.
A little butter, just a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Just a little bit.
Is that just regular butter, or is that a season? That's one of your seasoned butters.
Yeah, butter seasoned with a little bit herbs. Okay.
Oh, it smells so good.
And then we got a little bit heavy cream.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Parmigiano Reggiano.
That was raw cauliflower that you put in?
Yes, raw cauliflower.
I love cauliflower.
Grounded in your Cuisinart, or you can use a knife. Let it cook like risotto.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then you just flip the scallops again. Make sure they're medium rare. And then we're gonna flip the beautiful snapper. Okay, and then when you have it like that on the other side, you're gonna put it in your oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. That's it. And it's going to be wonderful.
Well, while you plate it up and tell everybody what we're going to do with the, it looks like you've added some sauces to it, I want to remind everybody the recipe is on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there. But there are still reservations available at the table, right?
Plenty.
And it's going to be a very lovely evening, no doubt about it. Here is the final product. Looks absolutely gorgeous.
Well,
and you've got some decoration on there. What is that?
Yeah, that's some tomatoes and some champagne bourbon sauce on top of the snapper.
I tell you what.
Very light, delicious.
You eat well when you go to the table restaurant. Chef Pedro, thanks so very much.
Thank you, sir.
Do appreciate it. We'll be right back.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
Here's something we bet you didn't know. Nearly half of all cancers can be prevented. That's right, half. Nearly 50%, mostly by making small everyday changes in your diet and controlling your weight, walking more, eating less, and eating foods that help you and your family to seriously reduce the risk of cancer. And of course, by not smoking. Visit the Cancer Prevention Together We Can website and get a free 30-day planner filled with tips, recipes, stats, and more about protecting your family. Go to prevent50.org.
This is your brain. This is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Any questions?
Yeah, I have questions.
Prescription drugs aren't as bad as street drugs, right?
Weed's legal, isn't it?
Drinking is worse than smoking weed.
Isn't it? Why
is heroin so addictive?
Molly just makes you feel happy.
I have questions.
Mom?
Dad, did you ever try drugs?
They're going to ask. Be ready. Go to drugfree.org. A message from Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
My name's Luke Perry, and I am 1 million strong. I'm in the fight against colorectal cancer because I believe we can win it. Colon and rectal cancers are the second leading cause of cancer deaths among men and women in the U.S. Colon cancer is preventable. Know the risk factors and make sure to get screened. There are simple, take-home options available. Take control of your health. Screening for colon cancer isn't embarrassing. It can be life-saving. To find out more about your options, visit fightcrc.org.
Selfless service is the principle that guides Army National Guard soldiers to be ready whenever disaster strikes. They have a stake in the well-being of the neighborhoods where they live and work. They train part-time to be ready to serve at all times. Selfless service. It's what inspires the men and women of the Army National Guard to be part of something greater than themselves. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Here we go. We're gonna go out there in the rain. You're gonna get wet. All right, here we go. Okay, oh yeah, yes. So much fun. Mwah.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Today's the deadline to register to vote for next month's special election in Sarasota. James Buchanan, Margaret Good, and Allison Foxall are running to finish the rest of Alex Miller's term as a state representative in District 72. She resigned last year after one term in office. Tonight, Good and Foxall will attend a League of Women Voters gathering at the Selby Library in downtown Sarasota to answer voters' questions. The event begins at 5. Buchanan did not respond to the League's invitation to attend. You can pick up a voter registration form in any library, post office, election office, or DMV. Sarasota City Commission is meeting this afternoon to talk about new regulations that could legalize marijuana dispensaries within the city. Sarasota has prohibited these dispensaries until a long-term strategy can be worked out. The new proposal would allow dispensaries in certain zones. The City Commission meeting begins at 2:30 this afternoon at Sarasota City Hall. The head of the Van Wezel Foundation has resigned. Monica Slater Van Buskirk is stepping down as president of the foundation after 6 years in that position. Sarasota Herald Tribune reporting she plans to remain in Sarasota and work with other nonprofit organizations. And although she did not share a reason for leaving, she announced she will be donating $10 million to that organization. Tonight, the Manatee County Fair will hold its first Veterans Parade to honor Suncoast heroes. Military songs will be performed and thousands of flags will be passed out, all to thank those who have served in the armed forces. The parade begins at 6 p.m. at the Manatee County Fairgrounds, and today is also free admission at the annual fair in Palmetto. And it looks like we're going to have tremendous weather for that for the fair tonight and the activities to honor veterans, which is awesome. It's a beautiful day.
Yeah. Absolutely. It'll be perfect weather for it, I think. Yep, great. For tomorrow, though, that's another question.
Yeah.
Are you the kind of guy who covers his plants, or do you just let nature take its course?
No, sensitive ones.
Yes.
You know, like orchids and, you know, some really tropical things. I will cover with a sheet.
Yep.
Definitely.
I'll be bringing in the orchids.
Yeah.
Anything in a pot I'm going to protect, I think, tomorrow night. Because this could be colder than our last little freeze that we had around here. And the duration could be slightly longer, possibly.
So that can do some damage.
It could do to the sensitive plants, like you say, particularly. And in inland areas, I'm sure the farmers are going to be very carefully monitoring those temperatures throughout the night, because we could have some temperatures that drop, actually drop into the upper 20s in inland areas on Wednesday night into Thursday. Not so today, though. Today's a beautiful sunny day out there. Lots of clear sky, blue sky. The Van Wezel webcam put into motion doesn't hardly show a passing cloud, and that's because, well, we just have a very stable atmosphere that will be rain-free throughout the day. 70 degrees by 3 p.m. That's just about average for this time of year. As we head into the evening and the sun sets, temperatures will fall off pretty quickly, though, into the 50s. Satellite view shows those clear skies across the state and rain-free skies as well. Winds not all that strong right now, coming in at about 10 miles per hour or less across the region. That will be a big factor, though, Thursday morning, as wind chills could be quite a problem here on the Suncoast. We'll talk about that in just a few. Scott?
See you in a little bit. Thank you, John. On social media, David and Louise Turpin projected an image of a picture-perfect family. They posted photos of themselves with their 13 children visiting Disneyland and celebrating birthdays. But police say the California couple lived a very different life, torturing and holding their kids captive. ABC's Maggie Rulli has the latest on this developing story.
Inside this middle-class home in California, a dark secret.
This is absolutely sickening.
Police say they found 13 siblings living in dungeon-like conditions, sitting in their own filth and starving, shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks.
Everybody was super skinny and not athletic skinny, like malnourished skinny.
To me, they look very young. 7 of the children were actually adults as old as 29, but investigators say they were so badly malnourished, they looked like kids.
They were very, very pale skinned, like almost like they've never seen the sun.
Police discovered them on Sunday after one of the children, a 17-year-old girl, escaped with a cell phone from the home and called 911. Police swarmed the house and arrested their parents, Louise and David Turpin, charged on multiple counts of torture and child endangerment, each now being held on $9 million bail.
And they were probably very disciplined and very meticulous about keeping the children captive.
ABC News spoke with David Turpin's parents, who said their son had so many children because God called on them to. The couple recently renewed their vows alongside their 13 homeschooled boys and girls in identical outfits and haircuts. Police say there were pictures of the family in Disneyland and Las Vegas, but neighbors recall only seeing the children recently, and many had no idea 13 children even lived inside that house. All of the children found in that house are now under the care of Child and Adult Protective Services. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
A group of pilots is offering to fly people in and out of the Montecito, California area affected by fires and mudslides. They're taking first responders, doctors, and patients, and the call to action is being answered through social media. Pilots are finding out about people who need their help through an online grassroots website, thomasfirehelp.org. It was originally set up for fire victims, but when organizers heard about the need for airlift, they got the word out.
And now it's a couple days later, and we have over 50 volunteer pilots, including one helicopter, and we're moving people.
One of my trips I did the other night was deliver blood up to San Luis Obispo. Otherwise, it would have been a 6-hour trip to get the blood up there.
The mudslides killed at least 20 people and destroyed or damaged hundreds of homes. And as searchers continue to sift through debris for people still missing from last week's mudslides, there is some good news. The number of those unaccounted for has gone down from 4 to 3. 53-year-old Jack Keating, who had been listed missing, was found alive in Ventura. He sent the sheriff's office a selfie with his dog. Crews, though, are still looking for a 17-year-old, a 28-year-old, and a 2-year-old child. Perhaps the biggest foreign policy struggle of President Trump's first year has been the resurgent threat of nuclear war. All of that fear made clear in Hawaii, where the push of a wrong button brought panic to paradise. And that's raising a lot of questions about whether the United States would be ready should it face an actual attack. Barbara Starr has more from the Pentagon.
A nighttime paratrooper jump by the 82nd Airborne Division over the skies of Nevada, practicing dropping into enemy territory.
Operation Panther Blade.
At Fort Bragg, North Carolina, one of the largest ever live fire exercises. Both are part of the Pentagon ensuring troops are ready if there is a war against North Korea. For now, President Trump suggesting it's not likely.
I think we're going to have a long period of peace. I hope we do.
But Defense Secretary James Mattis has made clear for months that being ready to fight, just in case, is job number one for the Pentagon.
This is the reality that faces our Department of Defense and our like-minded allies, and we must have militaries fit for their purpose.
With a drawdown in Iraq and Syria, more troops at home can practice vital combat skills.
Readiness for war. Readiness for the intense combat of ground operations of any type, anywhere in the world. That is our task, and I can tell you that it has never been more important than it is today.
Hawaii's missile attack false alarm underscores the hair trigger alert the military would be up against in a real war with Kim Jong-un. But President Trump recently has changed his tone on the crisis from bellicose.
North Korea best not make any more threats to the United States. They will be met with fire and fury like the world has never seen.
To optimistic.
We have certainly problems with North Korea, but a lot of good talks are going on right now, a lot of good energy.
The changing rhetoric has some worried the U.S. could lose leverage to force North Korea to give up its weapons and add to confusion in the region.
This really complicates the mission of U.S. military commanders on the Korean Peninsula and in East Asia, because they've been, for the last 60 years, they've been poised to conduct offensive operations against North Korea.
That was Barbara Starr reporting. Now, an officer responsible for that mass scare in Hawaii has been reassigned to a different post. State officials said the man simply pushed the wrong button. Closer to home, an Orlando boy has died from rabies after being scratched by an infected bat. A father said he found a sick bat, placed it in a bucket, and told his son Riker not to touch it. The boy did anyway and was scratched. The man said he washed the wound thoroughly and did not take Riker to the hospital until a week later, when the boy developed numb fingers and a headache. Riker passed away on Sunday. Rabies is almost always fatal after symptoms develop, and doctors say it's vital to receive a vaccine right away. A Florida Keys commercial fishing captain is out of jail after being charged with illegally dumping more than 30 lobster traps along a coral reef. Ricardo Hernandez was booked on 31 counts of commercial dumping and 31 counts of evidence tampering following a 2-year investigation by Florida Fish and Wildlife. Derelict lobster traps are a problem because they continue to trap, injure, or kill sea life long after they are lost and even damage sensitive habits. Pope Francis arriving in Chile today. The pontiff, a native of Argentina, is on a 6-city, 2-nation South American tour. His trip comes amid rising anger over sex abuse allegations against the Catholic Church. At least 5 churches have been attacked recently in Chile. In a speech today, the Pope expressed, quote, pain and shame over damage to children by some church ministers. Olympic gymnastics champion Simone Biles says a former USA gymnastics doctor also abused her. She joins 140 women accusing Larry Nassar of abusing them while he worked for USA Gymnastics and Michigan State University. Biles came forward on social media yesterday. Nassar pleaded guilty in November to 7 counts of criminal sexual conduct and admitted he used his position to sexually abuse young girls. His federal hearing starts today. Still to come in your Suncoast News, we'll look at consumer news. We're going to show you how to save some money on your cell phone and cable bills. That's coming up.
Here's today's job of the day. ABC 7 is seeking an account executive to join our winning sales team. This is an outside sales position covering the Tampa DMA. Visit mysuncoast.com/job of the day to apply.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Rose takes her volunteering for Tidewell Hospice very seriously. But she knows how to have fun, too. And that's what she brings when we're invited to visit patients as part of Tidewell's pet therapy program. People love to see her. She really brightens their day. She makes people smile. And in end-of-life care, a smile can be a wonderful gift. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
My name is Stephen Jaffe. The law firm's name is Farmer Jaffe. One of the beautiful things about Julius is he's always smiling, and it becomes infectious. The fact that Julius has a disability has absolutely nothing to do with the quality of work that he's done. Just a great person you want on your staff.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC 7, weekdays starting at 5.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert Weather Forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an air temperature of 70 degrees with a 52-degree dew point. Dew point is rising. That makes that cold air feel a little more comfortable if you are heating it, though 70 is not too terribly bad. A lot of sunshine out there. The sunshine will help bring us to a very comfortable afternoon as the winds blow fairly lightly, coming in east-northeast at about 8. I think those winds will be calm really throughout the day today, and even tonight the winds may pick up just a little bit, but still they will be light enough that maybe some patchy fog might form. So we'll watch for that tomorrow morning. It's not going to be widespread, not going to be a big problem. 68 degrees in Wauchula, 69 in Arcadia, 69 Mayaca, Lakewood Ranch, 68 in Perry, 69 Bradenton, 66 in Longboat, 69 in Venice, 68 in Inglewood, 69 North Portland, 74 degrees in Punta Gorda. Futurecast, put it through motion hour by hour. Don't see a lot of action happening throughout the day today. By 3 p.m., we stay absolutely crystal clear. There'll be full sunshine out there, warm temperatures, mild temperatures, and pleasant conditions. By the 6 p.m. hour, the temperatures will start to fall off. We'll be down into the probably upper 60s to mid 60s as we head into the evening hours, but rain-free, and should be nice. Just a light jacket required if you're dining outside tonight or taking a walk along the beach. Should be just fine for that. In fact, beach sunset should be very pretty tonight, I would think. By 10 o'clock tonight, everything is fine. A few fair weather clouds passing by. By 1 o'clock, the temperatures really start to fall into the 50s. And by tomorrow morning, we are watching that cold front move through parts of the panhandle of Florida, producing some snow showers and perhaps some icy conditions for Tallahassee. Leon County could have a real problem there with seeing some of that snow falling. It would be a dusting of snow, but certainly the freezing rain could create an issue if that does indeed materialize. The front rapidly moves through the area on Wednesday, shifting our winds out of the northwest, creating a very gusty wind as we head into the evening and into Thursday morning, creating a real situation where you probably have some wind chill values on Thursday morning that are going to sting. They really will. The air temperatures will probably drop into the low to mid 30s across the region, and if you factor in the winds, it'll probably feel like it's in the 20s. That's how cold it will be. The front will not produce any rainfall for us, maybe a few fair weather clouds, but that's really about it. All the weather will be well to the north. Northeast wind coming in at about 5 to 10, switching to 10 as we head into the night. Maybe that high, maybe not. Maybe it'll be a little bit lighter than that. We'll see how it plays out. Certainly, we are fine-tuning the temperature forecast for tomorrow night through Thursday morning. Certainly not a problem tonight, temperature about 50. You have time to prepare for the cold. Bring in your plants if that's what you wish to do. Tomorrow, and certainly you're going to want to take care of your pets. You're going to want to watch Bob tonight. He'll have an update on the temperature forecast. New models will be coming out, additional fine-tuning of that forecast data. But I think plan on mid-30s near the coastline, and perhaps even some lower 30s in inland areas. And then as we head into the rest of the week, we warm pretty quickly on Friday into the 60s and 70s on the weekend. Scott?
John, thank you. Reducing your monthly bills doesn't have to be painful. In fact, sometimes it's as easy as a phone call. If you've got cable or satellite service, money experts say to start there. There are now plenty of options, from antennas to streaming services, to fill in the gaps. So step one is to figure out which channels you watch regularly. The average cable customer pays for 189 channels, but maybe watches 17 of them. So once you have that list, see what your provider is offering new customers. Odds are there's a promo you could ask for too. Then call and ask for the retention department. Tell them your bill's too high and you'd like to cancel, and then be ready to negotiate. If you can get an offer you like, make sure to make a note of the date it expires so you know when to call back. Next, look at your cell phone bill and see if you're using the data you pay for every month. Most of us don't. In fact, the Consumer Reports survey found more than half of people who switched cell providers saved money with their new deal, so it's worth seeing what's out there. And January is a great time to look long and hard at habits that cost you as well. The CDC estimates that average smokers spend between $2,000 to $3,000 a year just on cigarettes. Try making a spreadsheet of all your monthly expenses, even the small ones. Seeing that number in black and white, or seeing what you spent on all those nights out with friends or impulse buys, could help motivate you to change those behaviors this year. 2018 is expected to be the year of the car. At least that's what some car dealers are hoping. The National Automobile Dealers Association expecting nearly 17 million new cars and light trucks to be sold this year. If you're in the market for a new car or truck, Mary Maloney shows us the new cars getting some top honors at the Detroit Auto Show.
Hello, Honda! The Honda Accord took home the highest prize at the North American International Auto Show. Among other things, judges look at innovation, safety, and value for vehicles redesigned for 2018. The judges dubbed the new Honda Accord Car of the Year and say it's roomier than previous models. Volvo's XC60 won Utility Vehicle of the Year. It's a compact SUV with a plug-in hybrid system. The Lincoln Navigator won Truck of the Year. This is the first time in the model's history that the Navigator was completely re-engineered. A judge called it a dramatic update for the brand. Lincoln's sibling, Ford, also made news at the auto show. In addition to its sporty Edge SUV, Ford unveiled the 2019 Ford Ranger, giving the model new light after pulling it from U.S. and Canadian markets 7 years ago. Ford also announced that it will more than double its previous promise to spend $4.5 billion on electric vehicles, which could make a difference in the kind of cars you'll see on the roads. For Consumer Watch, I'm Mary Maloney.
Well, we're now learning a flaw in Facebook security may have allowed advertisers to get access to users' phone numbers. Even worse, Facebook reportedly knew about the glitch for months before fixing it. If you have a Facebook account, you know you're encouraged to share your phone number to add another layer of security to the sign-in process. But security researchers at Northeastern University found a flaw in Facebook's system and exploited it to get at those phone numbers and email addresses. Facebook paid them a $5,000 bounty for finding the glitch, but then didn't fix it until late last month. Facebook says there's no evidence companies took advantage of that glitch. Stores will do just about anything to get your attention, but a new ad from IKEA appearing in a Swedish magazine takes that to a very new level. The ad for a crib actually doubles as a pregnancy test. The ad instructs women to dab a little urine onto a pregnancy test strip at the bottom of the ad, wait a few minutes, and if that test is positive, the woman will get a 50% off discount for the crib. No word on when or if this ad will appear in U.S. magazines, but it is a first, I think. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle have inspired Lifetime to create a movie of their love story. We'll have details when we come back.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
Performing on stage takes mental and physical preparation. But one thing I never thought to prepare for was cervical cancer. 91% of cervical cancers are caused by the human papillomavirus, or HPV. The good news is there are vaccines that can protect you or your children from cancer. I survived my cancer, but you can stop cancer before it starts. Talk to your doctor and go to thinkaboutthelink.org to learn more.
WWSB ABC7 is an equal opportunity employer, and we're looking for qualified people to join our dynamic team. For a list of current openings and to apply online, visit www.mysuncoast.com/contact/employment. If you're a motivated team player and you want a rewarding career in a fun, fast-paced working environment, WWSB ABC7 could be the perfect fit for you. Check out our list of openings now.
Coast Guard, we are taking on water.
The United States Coast Guard. They secure our ports and waterways, protect our environment, keep drugs away from our kids, and save lives. It's dangerous work. And in times of triumph or tragedy, the Coast Guard Foundation answers the call to support Coast Guard members and their families. Learn more at coastguardfoundation.org.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
I took my first handful of pills, and that's when all my priorities seemed to change.
He would ask to use the bathroom in other people's homes.
He just assumed that they would have medication.
He'd go in their medicine cabinets and steal prescription drugs.
I wish I knew really what these prescription pills were.
We were so naive about the whole drug thing.
These are all synthetic forms of heroin.
Keep your medication locked up because you'll never notice that a pill is gone.
Mind your meds. Learn more from the Partnership for Drug-Free Kids.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me.
Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
Today, many are remembering Dolores O'Riordan, the lead singer for the Cranberries, who died yesterday in London. The band Duran Duran writing on Twitter that they are crushed by the news. O'Riordan's publicist called the death sudden and said her family was devastated. O'Riordan was only 46 years old. Lifetime is creating a TV movie about the love story of Britain's Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle. That didn't take long, did it? A network representative shared the plans Sunday at the Television Critics Association Winter Press Tour. The Lifetime representative did not give an official air date, but said the movie should debut sometime before the royal wedding, which of course is set for May. Jane Fonda recently revealed in an interview that she had a cancerous growth removed from her lip. She thought the procedure would have already healed and wanted to explain why she was wearing a bandage on her face. It's not the first health scare for Fonda, though. She also had a small tumor removed back in 2010. So, skin cancer. It's, you know, you get up there in the years and it starts to affect just about everyone who was out in the sun at some point in their life. You know?
Got to get screened.
Yeah.
Every year. So cold temperatures coming our way, not tonight, but tomorrow night through Thursday morning. Bob will have the latest at 5.
We hope to see you then. Have a great day.